More women are cropping up in the farming industry as the number of men in the field is declining. That's according to the latest agricultural census numbers from the USDA out last month. The number of female farmers in Virginia more than tripled from 2012 to 2017. Now women make up 36% of all farmers in Virginia and across the country. The number of men farming in the U.S. has decreased slightly compared with 5 years ago. 10 News reporter Tommy Lopez shows us why one Botetourt County woman picked the agriculture field.
Women in farming is a growing trend, but for Sarah Sowers, she never thought growing up that she would be spending her time cutting flowers. It's a sizzling hot holiday, but the work never stops. Sowers wakes up, completes weeding, waters flowers.
Towards the end of the week, I'm making bouquets.
And gets them ready.
And we cool them down in here.
All while laying the groundwork for the next season.
I feel like it's a really good way to make a living. You feel like you're making an honest living and that you're doing something that is positive.
Her dad was in the farming industry.
I never thought it would be something I was interested in. I used to really grumble and hate getting up in the morning and picking the corn, but looking back, it was a positive experience.
In 2010, she met a flower farmer at a conference. She was a single mom with 2 kids. Now, with her husband helping, she owns Sarah's Petals, selling more than 200 varieties to florists and at farmers markets and in local stores. The male-dominated atmosphere of her father's era is nowhere to be found here.
I think it's time for people to rethink what a farmer is. You don't have to have hundreds of acres to be a farmer.
So what do you like most about being out here?
I like seeing it grow from a little seedling all the way into a flower. Flowers bring a lot of joy to people. People have flowers for their weddings, for really important days in their lives.
Sowers is looking into expanding, including setting up a greenhouse. She's just one of the women in the area turning farming into full-time work. In Botetourt County, I'm Tommy Lopez, 10 News, working for you.